Anna, look, if you were in the mountains a year ago, you know, while the catastrophic impact of Helene began on the 27th of September, the ground here was already saturated. The rivers here were already swollen from a previous tropical system that passed through just days before. So when Helene came, all of it added up to what would become the worst natural disaster in this state's history. And here in Asheville, it brought the city's thriving art scene to its knees. On the banks of Asheville's French Broad River, Marquee, Asheville is rising again.
I'm very excited for tonight. It's a little nerve-wracking because there's a lot of last-minute things.
We walked into Marquee just hours before its grand reopening. Artists and creatives from across the region scrambling to get their displays ready for showcase and sales in the city's largest art market that 1 year ago went from 50,000 square foot thriving showplace of over 300 Asheville artists to a washed out shell of itself, submerged under 16 feet of Helene floodwater from the French Broad.
This was not anything that was anticipated to ever happen in this place based upon history. So it was devastating.
10 miles away in Swannanoa, inside this old church refashioned as a community gathering space.
So back here is our community mural.
A different collection of artists prepares to unveil their own showcase of post-Helene resilience. The Swannanoa Artists Collective formed in the weeks after the storm devastated the Swannanoa River Valley. Residents young and old collaborated on art they say helped heal Helene wounds, spotlighting the symbols of this place they call home, even the river that took so much from them.
A big part of why we love it here is nature. You know, we live amongst it and we are at its mercy. And the river flooded and took our homes, but it's also a big part of why we love it here.
Born and raised right here. Swannanoa.
We were struck by the portrait series of Swannanoans, all people who lost a home, a business, or a loved one to Helene, the works of art photographer Herb Way.
But I didn't want to do stereotypical pictures like somebody standing out in front of their destroyed house. I wanted to get intimate, get close.
Back at the Marquee,
It feels like you're walking into a place you've never been before.
a revival of art after Helene at one of the largest showplaces in the city's art district.
The silver lining is we can make it better than it ever was.
The Marquee reopening last night with the help of an army of volunteers and thousands of dollars in grants and donations. Meantime, the Swannanoa Artists Collective has been holding commemorative events all week long, and they will continue through the weekend. Two rivers, two different communities, both healing through art.